Hello people and welcome to Redline. Today we are going to talk about the Tata Harrier. Tata Harrier was introduced as the H5X concept in Auto Expo 2018 and it was launched in January 2019. And now we have our hands on one of these, so let's talk about it. So what is Tata Harrier like on the outside? Tata Motors promised a design very close to the H5X concept from February 18, and after seeing what they did with the Nexon, expectations were really high. Yes, they had to give this thing a styling dose of reality in the production form, and they did. The Tata Harrier looks awesome from the back, marvelous from the front. The main portion of the front of the car is taken by long LED DRLs, which also are your turn indicators, and the xenon projector and halogen grouped headlamps are placed down, coupled with the fog lamps too. The rear of the car is no short of styling. The long stretched LED tail lamps with the blinker and the reverse light integration looks marvelous. The small antenna on the top and the bits, like the metal bits small and the silver accents, look marvelous. Talking about the outside in the Tata Harrier, the one thing that could have been improved was the look of the wheels. The 17-inch alloy wheels, they do the work good, but they don't look best on this car. Tata could have gone with the better kind of wheels, and really 17 inches means the rim diameter could have been easily increased. I know Tata was focusing on the suspension quality and the comfort offered to the passenger or the driver, but this segment could have been a little better. Talking about the pros, as I said, car looks marvelous. This is quite a big of a car and it looks brilliant. The rear appears to have stayed the trusted H5X concept. This car was designed by the brilliant engineers at Jaguar. There is a slim high set rear windscreen which doesn't give you a great view out but it looks awesome, and a narrow glossy black strip that sprouts out to be very elegant and set the LED tail lamps apart. The only badging on the tailgate is word Harrier, and all the rear valence blow includes a real scud plate and even Flox exhaust outlets. So what's this Tata Harrier like on the inside? The interior fit and finish have been something Tata has struggled to get right with all its cars, even the most recent ones. So it is wonderful surprise that see how much things have been improved here. The interior looks quite good. The wooden accents, which you won't realize it's plastic unless or until you touch it, and the seats looks good, and the color accents are matched, and the matte silver accents or the chrome brushed finishes on the dash, on the door jambs and handles, and the use of the material same as the seats on the door jambs looks marvelous. The switch gear is of all good quality and feels tactile and clicky. The AC vent position are good, and the internal AC can chill the car really fast on a hot summer day, making you ride more comfortable. Although the Harrier's cabin feels plushier and more in the premium than Compass, it's not quite as well put together as the Jeep. The dashboard design is simple, minimalistic and elegant. As I said earlier, the mock and wood also looks convincing. Although the 8.8-inch touch LCD looks marvelous and does the job with it what it's supposed to do, and also supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's not quite easy to read in the bright daylight if the direct sunlight falls on the screen, and the touch response could have been a little better. But the other bits in the car, like the handles with perforated leather and the brushed chrome finishes, the big cup holders and bottle holders in all the doors, and a special place to keep your smartphone in the rear seats is really good. The Harrier has enough legroom and headroom for even a person that is as tall as 6.5 feet. When you get into the back seat, you realize the Tata Harrier would also make an excellent chauffeur-driven car. The rear space is positively huge. You can thank the long 2741 mm wheelbase. Talking about the boot space is a lot. It's 425 liters. Well, on the first thing it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. The space is designed adequately to fit a lot, and the rear seats could also fold in, giving you a lot more space. But the loading lip is a little bit taller, which might make it a little bit difficult to load things in, and there is not a proper handlebar to lift up the boot, but there is a good electric release button. Now talking about the instrument cluster, it's composed of a screen and an analog speedometer. It looks good, provides you with enough information. It has all the bits you've been looking for, including power and torque readouts, some graphs, mode indicators, odometer, speedometer, trip meter, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and a lot more, even the ambient temperature and time and everything you could ask for. And it also has a dial for terrain response system. So how the Tata Harrier is to drive? It only has a manual variant with 2-liter diesel engine and misses out an automatic gearbox on a petrol engine, but it's fine for now. The steering wheel on lower speeds is a bit heavy, and that heaviness in the high speeds translates to utter confidence on the road. The brakes are good, not good, they are really good. They will make you stop on a dime, and they perform their job really well. Although this might be just me, but the clutch requires a lot of input to drive properly or comfortably in the city. Though it's only front wheel drive, they made it point to include terrain response system on the top end cars, which adjust the electronics for low traction situations, namely wet and rough road driving. In fact, there are a huge number of electronic driver aids, including off-road specific ABS, hill start assist, hill descent control, traction control, stability control, corner stability control, brake free prefill, brake wipe, rollover mitigation, and even hydraulic fade compression. So that's a mouthful to speak about. So should you buy one? The first thing to remember with the Tata Harrier is that even though it borrows a basic platform, it's not a Land Rover. And it instead rivaling everything to Mahindra XUV500 or to the Jeep Compass. Your expectations has to be set accordingly. It's no doubt a milestone moment for the Tata Motors, but there is something more significant about the Harrier, and that is it feels the first vehicle from an Indian brand that truly a global player. One would just sell but potentially be quite successful in the foreign markets. It's a strong package, has a great space and comfort, a plush interior, especially good suspension, which the front suspension is borrowed from Discovery I guess, a strong good ride striking looks at a price of 12.69 lakhs to 16.25 lakhs. The Harrier significantly undercuts its chief rival to the Jeep Compass, making it bigger, plushier and more spacious. Tata is quite a steal and one can confidently recommend. The Tata Harrier has the makings of a winner. So that's about it from my side. You've been listening to Mayank.